Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. It's on the right side as the red Burmese. We have Emalius 2. Spawn as the blue Mongols. We have Andre 2I. And this map has a giant choke point here. Blue's going for a forward mill there, trying to collect these deer, and some of those deer get knocked over there. Interesting placement. We can actually see a quick mill there. Let's take a quick look at Blue's Mongols bonuses. I can't remember what the Mongols bonus is off the top of my head. Maybe there's a reason why he went for our early mill right there. And multiple mills being blown out. Let's see. Hunters work 20% faster. That's why he's gone for quick mills. Just not collect his herdables just yet. He wants to maximize these deer collection when he can. So, we got cavalry archers fire faster, light cavalry hussars and step lancers have more hit points, and hunters work faster. And of course, have the research. Nomads, houses do not decrease the population headroom when they get destroyed, which is not a really important tech, not that important. If they were to switch like, just max out population immediately, that's probably better than that. Andros, Siege Workshop units move 50% faster. Not that great. What really makes Mongols, I think, as a really good civilization is probably Magudai, an excellent cavalry archer, which is a step up from regular cavalry archers, and they also are very good for siege units. We also got an early dock here to try to collect some fish. Very nice. And Blue's only a dock here as well. What vision does he have? Did not spot the dock there, nor the fishing ship just yet, so potentially he will go for a fishing ship and not fire ships. Doesn't spot anything there as well, so likely he will go out with some fishing ships and not fire ships. So you probably can't get fire ships in Dark Age. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. And let's go and cover red civilization bonus, the Burmese. We have lumbercraft technologies are free, which can be quite handy. Those are the ones you probably go for sooner rather than later. Infantry gets +1 attack per age, starting feudal age, not bad. Battle elephants get additional armor and pierce armor. Reasonably fine. They have a lot of health, that's pretty much makes them very resilient. So now they're even more resilient. And monster technology costs 50% less, which may need monks to get back here elephants. Of course, we've got the Howdah technology gave battle elephants more armor and pierce armor, and miniature cavalry, which cavalry gains +5 attack versus archers, which can be useful if you want just simply want to deploy your cavalry as a counter if you're really dealing with arbalists. Most people go for knights and cavaliers and paladins, not really archers or arbalists in the Imperial Age, though some civilizations do excel at that. And team bonus gets revealed the relics immediately on the map, which could be quite handy. Speaking of which, I do see 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. So there's only 4 relics on this map. Let's switch over Fog of War. Yep, 4 relics, 2 on each side of each on the channel. Has some early palisade walls here, very nice. And let's go and fast forward there. We got also an early watchtower here. You must be afraid of early aggression. Huh? Whatever floats his boat. Not really needed. We've got multiple docks being deployed off both sides. They definitely spot each other, right? Definitely spot there. And definitely fire ships being deployed out by both sides. And red did come out ahead overall. He could use this. Yeah, he's going to use this village to repair up the fire ship. Though to be fair, I'm not really sure you want to really be close to a makeshift flamethrower, because the word makeshift and flamethrowers are 2 words you don't want to mix together. Yeah, blue's still having the advantage there, but red now has a number advantage and a pair of demolition raft. Let's get a good hit there on that fire ship there. The other that was not 2 demolition rafts, that was just 1. And Blue's not losing a lot of his fire ships. He needs to go ahead and start garrisoning fire ships in there. Let's switch over to Blue, see if he's building more fire ships. We do have 1 in a demolition raft. He could go ahead and perhaps keep inside there to do an ambush spawn on these fire ships there. There's a wounded one there. He's trying to use the wounded one there to draw the demolition raft to get a to put it to let it kill something that he wants to get, leave it get killed there. But he actually throws it into a fishing ship, I believe. Fishing ships are now under siege. I think blue just needs to abandon the sea right here. Red has a significant amount of fire galleys. He has naval control over there. Of course, no one's claimed with the northern channel there, but I think blue just needs to either rally a bunch of fishing ships inside his docks, or not fishing ships, fire ships, and then come out, maybe a couple demolition rafts. I mean, right now, a demolition raft right now to this location could be very effective. Trying to split these guys up, knowing the threat about that. And now you've got a pair of galleys. And now I've got a pair of fire ships trying to engage, but it's getting triple teamed immediately. Nope, that was just one. He decides to get... He actually got ejected out because the dock ran low on health. Ran low on health. That's probably not the best way to put that. By the way, we do have blue going for Castle H now. Red has made a serious investment onto the sea to claim it. He will get the fish, of course. But that's maybe spent a bit too much there, because that's a lot of fire ships there. Let's take a quick look at villagers. Blue is behind by 5. Red does have a ever so slight advantage. And its war gatling asserting dominance against this house. And blue is going to deploy out a dock up north just to get some fish here. And we do have a camel here. Nice scout camel. I suppose if the Mongols would got that technology that houses don't lose population, would have been very nice at this point in time. Red has not gone for Castle H just yet, while blue is about ready to pop it, so blue could potentially get a very, very nice population boom with additional town centers. And that's one reason why blue has less villagers, because Castle H does take a bit of time. And we do have 100 stone for blue. So a second town center should be popping out relatively soon. Maybe a bit farther forward in this region could be quite nice. You can also perhaps deploy out a monastery here to grab those relics immediately. We do have a step lancer deployed out. Usually knights are better than step lancers in most cases. Though in this very choky point, they could do quite well. I really wish they would just make it so step lancers were a complete alternative, like a complete replacement to the knight line for the nations that can get the step lancer. So they can make it a little bit different and perform just a little bit different. Not necessarily like a niche role in the same roster to compete with. But they can make it so now knights, they could make it that step lancers and knights would be very similar, but they would have could be in the same faction. We got a dock being deployed out here. Is that a guard tower? Or nope, that was just a house there being canceled. We got the 2 step lancers being deployed out, getting some good hits there onto the spearmen. Let's see if Red's deploying out anything from these docks. And we got a pair of fire galleys. He's putting in some more and more step lancers there, trying to hit these villagers. We got a red fire galley here. He has not deployed out any sort of fishing ship. Blue can actually abandon the sea right now and be a relatively small investment. Red is putting out a lot of fire galleys in this region. In fact, there's actually more being deployed down south. And war galley upgrades. Red is going heavy for ship upgrades when he really shouldn't. Can Red get cannon galleys as well? He can get the elite cannon galley upgrades, so I think that's a yes. Spearmen are going down. We've got these step lancers advancing, gain some damage on these forces. This watchtower is having a bit of trouble there. Does get some good damage there on the spearmen. And now these step lancers are roaming about inside the opponent's line, gaining some great kills on these spearmen. That drop of those step lancers is doing some great work. Red has gone for Castle Age. I didn't really pay attention when. And this monastery is getting... It's a monastery, not necessarily a town center. Red is losing a lot of villagers here. Blue now has the villager advantage thanks to these step lancers, just stabbing everybody. Do step lancers do extra damage versus the villagers? I wonder. Got a double layer of walls here. House is still slowly being picked apart. Got more fire galleys deployed up by Blue, but now we got fire ships for Red. Step lancers are quite wounded. They may just go ahead and try sieging down some of the structures, or just camp that relic because he has a monastery there. No monks on the build queue. Has Blue gotten out a monastery himself? No, he is not. And he is seeing a lot of losses on these step lancers now. Just one remains. You can potentially be shanked by these villagers. He's trying to go for some shanking there. Does stab that villager. And here comes Spearman, and there goes a step lancer now. Red is going quite heavy in the fire galleys in this region. We may see a demolition raft or two. Nope, we don't see anything in the build queue. I haven't selected. And now these step lancers are advancing. They're starting to stab this house through the fence. And let's clean up those fire galleys now. Red will lose a bit of infrastructure up here. Red still has a significant number of fishing ships in this region as well. And these step lancers cannot be very effective versus these fire galleys. Fire galleys have a range of 2, while step lancers have a range of 1. Looks like your Red and Blue are both using patrol moves to make sure no more docks get placed. Very nice. One of the few times you actually will see patrol moves being used to actually literally patrol a large region. Got another transport right here. It's going to drop some more step lancers likely. Yep, we got another round of 4 step lancers. One of them severely wounded. And no relics have been claimed so far by either player. That does slow down there as well. Some of these houses are being cleaned on up. Red has plenty of population space, so I don't have to worry about that. And Blue's going for a nice little outpost here. Just get some extra spawning. Let's order Blue to see what vision that provides. It provides that vision. Not really that great, honestly. It just tells them what's there, but not necessarily what's beyond it. Could have been deployed a little bit farther forward. Let's take a quick look at villager counts once again. We got Blue having 75, Red has 68, so that these raids with these step lancers have been doing quite good work. That's going to heighten the pace a little bit now. Just these step lancers do find another kill there on the villager, and finds a kill there on a monk. Very nice. Blue is still running around, and he's starting to clean up some of these palisade walls. So now there is a breach, and this mining camp does get found by the fire ship there. He will need to get that repaired or replaced. He does have the sound center repair nearby. It's not a complete bad, and one of the step lancers does get converted. Slow down a little bit, just get an idea what's going on, let's switch over to also Gaia, so we don't have to worry about all those sound effects popping on up when fast forwarding. Let's rebuild the mining camp on the better side, away from the fire ships. Who would have known that a mining camp doesn't want to be set on fire? I'm gonna see, more precisely. And again, what exactly wants to be set on fire? Other than a fire pit. Oh, those, wait. How far is he pushing? That has to be, is he? There must be actually quite a bit of a gap right there for him to actually get pushed forward. And now he's going to have trouble running away from Monk. The Monk will get conversion there on the fire ship. That's one way to deal with your opponent's fire ships. Just convert them. Magadi are not being deployed now. Some cavalry archers. And a fire ship does go down there as well. And the galley actually received quite a bit of fire from that captured fire ship. Nice still being pursued there. That castle finds those fire ships because of bad patrol path, probably. And all these knights are going to be streaming on in. We'll be trying to hit some of these villagers. There's actually been a ship, fish over here, so maybe a couple fishing boats wouldn't hurt. Good hits there. These knights do find another villager. And the Magadites do get some more damage there. Finds another villager as Magadites now receive some fire. And Red has a path to Imperial Age. Both players now at Imperial Age. There's also a line over here which could find the knights and get some nibbles. And Blue's actually going misjudging where the knights are actually at. Does spot them there now. The line does not get drawn by the Magadai. Up here, more knights are streaming on forward. That castle could have been a bit of a better position, perhaps over here. I know you said it right there to bleed off these fire ships, but keeping the fire ships at sea would prevent your opponent from deploying out more population on the land. Knights are being cleaned up, but knights are now streaming on in. Let's take out more and more of these knights there. Got a number of watchtowers in this region. Does clean up that knight as well. These knights are still in this region. He knows of them. And these knights are cleaning up some more houses. Magadai does force him not towards the castle. And the lion does find the villagers there, but the knights also find the villagers. Knights being cleaned up by the Magadai. It's a typical villager count. Both sides have a good number of villagers. Red had an ever so slight lead, but at this point in time, they probably don't need to pull out any more villagers. And now we've got some cavaliers. Cavalry research is now available. Monk is trying to find a convert there. Looks like all the relics have been claimed by both players. Yep. Cavalier's pushing the way forward. Got another castle here. Not sure why there. This would seem like a bit of a better spot. Maybe worried about any naval invasions. How much stone does it? Blue has a significant amount of stockpile stone, and so does Red. Both of them have enough for more castles. That Cavalier does get cleaned on up, does go and not gun down. Take out that knight. Up north, we got the Red, so it's these fire ships here. Red is now deploying out a castle right there. A bit too close to each other, perhaps. Guys could have deleted this workshop, and that's probably a better spot for a castle. By the way, we will have this choke point covered. This castle here is trying to siege down or remove these fire ships from this region. And a big wave of knights with a handful of light cavalry in the mix now being pushed on the way forward. More Magadai being put out by Blue, getting some kills there on some of the knights, and monks will get overwhelmed by the cavaliers. Good focus firing there by the Magadai, but not enough to finish off these interviews. There's a bunch of wounded knights in Cavaliers here. They need to start pushing all the way over here. Some of these villagers are start getting hit. Let's get inside that garrison in time. Very nice. But some other villagers may get killed off in return. Let's see what archery upgrades Blue has gotten. Looks like he has got quite a number of archery upgrades. And also going for shipwright. More Magonite being deployed on out. We see ballistics has been researched, so is chemistry. Parthian, or no, that's, yeah. Let's forget, yeah, heavy cavalry archer. I think Parthian tactics is the next one after that on this spot here. But yeah, it looks like I got a good number of archery upgrades. And bracers have been researched as well, so this Magonite are almost fully researched. Now I got some more fire ships employed out. With the shipwrights, is able to help secure naval superiority. He's lost a number of fire ships to those castles as well. And Blue has kept these fire ships alive, so is the transport there. That's what will also perhaps these castles will also prevent these transports from landing. Light cavalry making their way forward, quickly being focused down by these Magonites. And there you do have the elite Magonite upgrade. I see here they're a faster rate of fire, which could be very useful. Now only 2 of these light cavalry managed to squeeze on through. Blue does not have enough for a castle. Maybe we can buy some stone at the Market of Gal 4th castle. Because I think he only has 3. Yes, actually 4, so 5th castle. Red has enough stone for another castle as well, so both sides can potentially push with castles. Red is making way forward, cleaning up some of these docks. Not much fish left for these fishing ships. There's some shore fish here. And we got our university way up there. Looks like he has destroyed some of his own infrastructure there to get these guys through. A massive wave of halberdiers, but halberdiers, of course, a melee unit, and Magonite, of course, a ranged unit. We do got a number of these dart throwers, the Rambai, which are, they do physical damage, if I remember correctly, not piercing damage. Does they get the trebuchet firing against that fresh castle? These trebuchets, however, can be quickly cleaned up by the Magonites. Magonites will love fighting this region. Though it looks like the trebuchet may go down to their Rambai. Another shot does come forward. And the captured Step Lancer does go down. So no more trophy there. And start focusing on these trebuchets, no problem. This castle is under siege, so you will use that stockpile stone to clean up, get that repaired up. We'll lose a number of these Magonites to the halberdiers, but just needs a run. These guys can get some good shots on in. And it's going to hit some of these guys are falling back. He can't fall back, they're going to get ripped apart. He has to push forward and die. Fall back and die, or push forward and die. Blue has another trebuchet deployed out. Red has 2 more as well. Switch over to Gaia, so we don't have to worry about all those notifications. Red's pushing forward with another wave of halberdiers. Red has more villagers. Blue may have more military units out on the field. Yeah, Blue has a significantly higher kill-to-death ratio, but it's mostly fighting against these trash units and using his elite units. Blue also has a smaller military as well. Oh, I hear fire ships engaging these hussars. And I see down south some... Okay, those are just fishing ships. Castle receiving some fire there. Blue's gone for a sniffing over his own trebuchet, so both sides are preparing up the castle. They're just both trying to outlast each other. Boardings has been reached by Blue's castles. So does Red. Maybe not. Blue's castle, I think... Blue has a bit more health on his castles, plus has the high ground advantage, so takes reduced damage as well. And with his castle in this region, these halberdiers are going to charge it forward, but they're going to get ripped apart by the castle, let alone the Magonite. Now the Magonite could start being a bit more aggressive, trying to get towards these trebuchets. Without that defensive castle there, the Magonite are in a great position there. Does fall towards the castle. He's going to stand and fight, gain some great kills there. With the range of the castle as well. Lots of red units do go down. The trash is having a bit of trouble breaking through. It does actually get a bunch of guys inside the garrison. More and more trash is being deployed out by red. Red may be out of gold. Looks like both players are actually out of gold on the map. So both sides are out of gold on the map. So it's only left the relics. And keeping the Magni alive is very important, but they also are very powerful. Like how they've been deployed out by the Mongols. They may not get Hussars. I honestly don't know off the top of my head. Trebuchet warriors coming forward. Red's just trying to hit the castle. Blue's trebuchets are just outright missing, looks like. Hussars are advancing, which will break those Zord shots for the Magadai. And does get a hit there with one of the trebuchets now. Most of the trebuchets are splitting their fire. Blue's castle likely will go down. It's out of stone for repairs. It can't take time to spend and buy more stone for a castle. And Blue's castle does go down there. Magnetize, however, still rip apart this trash. And now they should be able to finish off that trebuchet there. They're splitting the fire away from the trebuchet onto all the other forces. That's actually not half bad to pick out, but there goes the trebuchet as well. The Magadai is still alive, and there's 4 trebuchets for Blue. Blue is in a great position right now. Blue can start pushing way forward towards the Red's castles. And all he needs to do is stream in light cavalry to draw fire. Or in slashes. Something to be a front line for the Magadai. Skirmishers wouldn't be half bad either. Now Blue's trebuchets are slowly advancing. Got 2 stables here. And now the castle has gone down with very little contest. Red is just trying to pull up some forces in order for a massive assault. And Blue now has his own Hussars now on the field. I figured that the Mongols will get Hussars. I know they can't get Paladins, if I remember correctly. Red is pushing forward with this massive wave of Hussars and Halberdiers. Magadais will quickly rip apart everything that gets close, but will he have enough of his own Hussars to hold back the front line? Got reinforced Magadais coming on in as well. Magadais are staying quite alive, and yep, Red's Hussars could not breach, and without any gold units to breach the line, pulling out Mangonels would not be useful against can't pull out Mangonels to engage some Magadais because they have, of course, the anti-siege damage. Yep, and that is the end of the replay. So this is Andgray saying thank you for watching, and moving on to the next replay.